Hey guys, welcome back to Hotlap, where we talk about anything and everything F1. I'm Caleb, that's Tyler, and we kind of wanted to start this episode on more of a serious note, because we've been seeing all the harassment and all the hate that Kimi Antonelli's been getting, and we both want to put out a public statement saying we do not agree with anything that's like any of the harassment that's happening. Um, we do not advocate for like online bullying. Talking shit and busting each other's balls, that's fine, all in good fun. But when it extends to harassment of the people, of the family members, that's not okay. And it will never be okay.
Yeah. Um, for context, if you don't know what we're talking about, basically, we'll talk more about Qatar in a second, but basically, on one of the last laps of the Qatar race, Kimi Antonelli made a common mistake, and it's really easy on that track specifically, but his rear slid out from, under him, and he kind of went off track a little bit. Lando overtook him, and because the championship stakes are so high, basically Max's race engineer GP and also Helmut Marko, kind of like the owner of the Red Bull team, basically thought that Kimi was just letting Lando Norris with McLaren kind of go through, and he was basically just giving him the position. And pretty much as soon as they came out and said that, and hit the media, Toto Wolff pretty much called out like a brainless comment, and went as far as to talk to GP himself, not one on one, but they had a talk and they like cleared the air. And once they kind of like explained everything, then they kind of like everything got settled pretty much. However, the fans did not seem to take it very well, and pretty much right after Helmets and GP's comments about Kimi letting Lando pass, Kimi got flooded with hate comments like pretty much immediately yesterday. Time of recording this is Monday, the Monday right after the race yesterday. And yeah, I mean, Kimi got like thousands of hateful remarks. He got death threats towards him. And he changed his profile picture to black, which is kind of like an indicator of like, I'm not okay, don't hit me up. And the pressure really got to him. He's pretty sensitive. I mean, who wouldn't be in his position? That's a whole nother story. Like I can go on a whole tangent about that, right? But mentally, that really distressed Kimi, and it did not put him in a good place. And I mean, it's a thing that the internet's kind of always had. The Red Bull fandom, it's not reflective of the team as it is the fan base. And the fan base needs to change. We need to see like some fundamental changes, and we don't tolerate it. I guess in like summation, the FIA has taken a stance. It's gone as far as to reach the governing body of Formula One, because this cannot be allowed to happen again, because this is just ridiculous. The FIA has taken a stance on this. Mercedes has taken a stance on this. Red Bull has issued a formal apology. And the whole thing over Kimi making one mistake where his rear just spun out, like went completely out of proportion. And we're here now, and we have to talk about this, and we shouldn't have to talk about this. This should never have been something that comes up, but here we fucking are. I guess to end it off, like pretty much, we've kind of gone back and forth about like whether or not like to keep like rude comments and like rude remarks on like our Instagram and like on our socials and stuff like that. And for the most part, we've just kind of like let it slide. But after this, especially seeing like how deeply it affected Kimi, and how like the sport people involved in the sport themselves are like standing against this very like outwardly. Being exposed to hate myself, just not just on the Hotlap account, but like on my TikTok account, enough to where like I felt like the walls were closing in on me, and like feeling like the only way out was to like just delete my TikTok because I couldn't handle the hate anymore, because I just kept getting bombarded every post I made. And there's like a small fraction of like what Kimi Antonelli has faced in like the past 24 hours. And it stressed the hell out of me just with like, a couple dozen comments. So I can't imagine what he's gone through with like the thousands of comments that he's received, that have actually since been forwarded by Mercedes to the FIA. And it's something that it really resonates with me, and it's something that like I feel very strongly about. And I really want to take this seriously. So moving forward, like if there's any like hateful comments that are on like our YouTube or Instagram, on anything, I'm taking zero tolerance policy against it, because we need to make this sport, we need to all come together and make this sport a positive environment. Friendly banter is fine. Saying like "fuck you" jokingly is fine, right? But there's a line that you can cross, and that line was like, we've crossed miles past that, with this whole like Red Bull scandal thing. So, moving forward, I think Mercedes is taking a zero tolerance policy on this. The FIA and Formula One are as well, and I think it's only fair. I think we should have done this before they set the standard, but better late than never. We're gonna do everything we can to be a zero tolerance policy against just hateful and hurtful harassment online. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of what's been going on over the past 24 hours.
Yeah, we both kind of we've had a conversation offline, and we've both discussed it. It would be best for us to formally make a statement and to let all you track rats know, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Obviously, like we've expressed, friendly banter is fine, right? But if it gets to the point where it's actual harassment, that's not going to be tolerated in our community. Absolutely not. Y'all don't deserve that.
Yeah.
We don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. So
seriously, yeah. So, it's going to get that out of the way and kind of clear the air. We don't really necessarily get a lot of like hateful comments on the YouTube. It's mostly the Instagram. But it's good to just set this standard early, because we cannot allow F1 to become more toxic. We have to do everything that we can as fans to set it as a positive environment. Everybody needs to. We all need to come together to do that. And this is us taking our part, taking our stance in this. So we're actively participating and trying to make Formula One a positive community.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, back to joking.
Back to what you guys really came here for.
The serious talk's over now. So we just talked a little bit about Qatar, about that thing. Let's debrief the whole weekend, shall we?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that meme where it's like, it's not a meme, it's more of like a scene from SpongeBob, and Squidward plays clarinet for Patrick, and he's like, I'm going to be playing clarinet in E minor. Yeah. And Patrick's like, ooh, E minor, yeah.
Oh, E minor, all right, yeah.
He plays one note, just...
I will say that's how the sprint was. I had a little bit more fun watching the Grand Prix, but the sprint was pretty much a snooze fest.
I woke up so early just to get disappointed.
Look, it's the guy who woke up early just to sit through 2 hours of nothing. That was like an hour.
No,
and a half.
literally. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but like, oh my God. Dude, so, okay, I couldn't sleep that night until like 6 a.m. And then the sprint was at like 7:30.
Oh.
So I got like an hour and a half of sleep. And then my alarm just woke me up. And I like half awake put on like the sprint. And, I wasn't fully like aware, but I didn't see a single overtake, single accident. There was no action. It was just static footage of like the same lap for about like 20 laps.
Oh, my sweet summer child. That's so sad.
Snooze fest. Snooze fest.
Literal snooze fest. Yeah, I mean, nothing really happened in the sprint. I mean, the qualifyings were fun. I liked the qualifyings.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, honestly, nothing really happened in the sprint. It was kind of just like, oh, okay, that was one of the races of all time.
Yeah, it was definitely a race of all time.
But the Grand Prix, that's a different story.
Yeah, it was actually a lot better. There was actually like some juicy bits to the Grand Prix. So I think it was like lap 6 or 7, no pun intended, but 6, 7. Anyways, Pierre Gasly, I think he had like floor damage or something already, but then he was taking a turn and Nico Hulkenberg, he said it himself, and you can see it. He gave him plenty of space. He was overtaking him in a turn. It's completely fair to do that.
Yep.
It was a pretty big turn, plenty of space, and Pierre just went and made Nico Hulkenberg DNF. Sorry, I was going to say DSQ. But
yeah, I mean, I saw that, and it looked like Pierre Gasly just wasn't aware of Nico Hulkenberg to his left. He wasn't aware, and he didn't know he had to make space until it was too late. And then, he hit Nico's tire, and then Nico just spun out and popped his tire and DNF'd. I was like, damn. And then after that, that's when Pierre Gasly really, really started sparking up, like, badly. So I think that there was something from either his car or Nico's car that got lodged underneath and was just sparking up the rest of the race.
Did he? I don't remember because I wasn't paying super close attention to Alpine, but did he? I think he carried on through the whole race still, right? Even with like the floor damage.
Yeah, as far as I'm tracking, he carried on the whole race. I don't think he ever boxed to fix it. I think eventually the problem just fixed itself. But for a good amount of laps, he was just looked like he was trying to start a fire. He was just sparking up so horribly.
Just like McLaren's in Vegas. That's all I thought about just the whole time. I was just like, my brain was just like McLaren in Vegas looks like the exact same thing.
Damn. There's actually a rumor that like somebody let the FIA and the stewards be like no, like, hey, I think McLaren's boards are a little too thin. You might want to check them out. Like somebody tipped them off. Don't know who. There's a couple theories, but there's a rumor that somebody tipped off McLaren.
I told you about that last episode, remember?
Did you? I know we've talked about it. I don't know if you told me on the episode. Maybe.
It was definitely that night. It might not have been recorded, but yeah, no, I was the one that brought that up.
Yeah, it might not have been recorded.
Yeah, episode 7. Usually it's a lucky number, but that was our unluckiest episode, I think. Low key.
So, for context, right? So I'm over here. We're having a good time. We're talking. We actually had a couple bloopers that were captured in that. And if you watch the stream, you'd know what we're talking about. But so we're going back and forth, doing our thing, and then all of a sudden my computer goes boop, and it says insufficient disk space, recording stopped, and I was like, oh man, okay, well and I told Tyler, I was like, hey, let me fix this real quick. So, and I had all of our previous episodes and stuff stored on my hard drive or on my laptop, but since they're already up on YouTube anyway, I was like, okay, I'm fine deleting them. So I went through and I deleted all the old episodes and like some of the test recordings we did when we were first starting out trying to get this working. And my plan was to take what we had recorded and then take what we are going to record and then stitch them together in one cohesive episode. And I had accidentally deleted the first part of the recording. We lost 30 minutes of footage. 30 minutes of footage. And so, and that's exactly where the episode 7 picks up, is when I'm figuring that out. I'm like, oh, we kind of just lost everything.
It's so painful to hear that too, because I did so much talking the first 30 minutes too, and I'm just like, I'm not repeating this.
We had some great points, but it was just gone. And I'm like, oh, man.
Awful. Just awful.
Simply Awful.
Simply awful.
Just simply
I've got
dog
it.
shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But back to Qatar though.
Yeah.
I guess finishing it out, that prompted the safety car when Nico DNF'd, and coincidentally, it was supposed to be a 2-stint race, which it was, but or I guess 3-stint, whatever, 2 pit stop race, whatever. I
Yeah,
don't care.
it was supposed
3
to be.
compounds. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, it's hilarious because Pirelli said that the tires on the Qatar track were only as good as 25 laps, and you could not take the tires past 25 laps, or like the degradation would just be too much.
Yeah.
It was a 57 lap race. Coincidentally, Nico Hulkenberg DNF'd on lap 7. I mean, I don't know how you could make this any like easier for like everyone. Like
Crashgate Part 2? Crashgate Part 2?
It's a little convenient that it almost seems like it was kind of rigged, right? Like it's a little too convenient how well that was done. But yeah, exactly on lap 7 of a 57 lap race, when you can only do 25 laps per tire, you'd have to pit in probably at lap 7 and then 25 and then 25, right? But that just changed the whole game. So Red Bull's chief strategist, I forget her name, it's like Hannah something.
Hannah Schmitz.
Hannah Schmitz. Yeah, she made the call to box.
Mm-hmm.
All the teams kind of subsequent.
That was a damn good call.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The whole like Red Bull fandom, as toxic as they are, they were like praising her so fucking hard after that one. But yeah, Hannah Schmitz made that call. Max didn't question it. He was just boxed right there, right then and there. Because I mean, safety car equals free pit stop. I mean, you don't lose any time doing it. So I mean, it's just like, why wouldn't you? So great call. The only people that didn't box though were the McLarens.
Yeah, for some reason.
And it shot them in the foot so bad.
I was looking at the calls that they were giving Lando Norris, and what they expect, because he was like, hey, everyone's boxing, should we box? And he was, no, stay out because you're going to get ahead of everybody. And then after it was all said and done, the safety car was coming to an end. The strategist was like, okay, listen, you need to build up a substantial enough lead to where a box doesn't matter, like a pit stop doesn't matter. Mind you, Lando and Oscar are both on 7-lap old tires, or 8-lap old tires at this point. Everyone else is on 1-lap old tires. He's like, how am I supposed to build up a substantial enough lead on older tires? Like, you think. And yeah, it eventually ended up shooting them in the foot because they weren't able to build up like a substantial enough lead. And then they had Lando Norris pit with what, like 5 laps to go, something like that. And it really shot him down to like P5 or P5. It shot him down to P5, so he finished the race P5.
Yeah, no, P4 actually, because he overtook Antonelli.
That's right, because Antonelli slid out. Yeah,
last minute, but yeah, Piastri was leading the race, and it was looking like Piastri was actually going to win the race. But McLaren literally had like gold in their hands, and then just dropped it down like a chasm. Yeah. Like it just completely fumbled. Max took advantage of it. Max said in an interview within like the last few days too that like the only reason why he's even like fighting for the championship right now is because it's not because Red Bull has a dominant car, it's because McLaren keeps making mistakes and he's just taking advantage of it. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he's been saying. And that this race was like a perfect example of that, like textbook, because failed McLaren strategy call, and then the race engineers were literally just like on the radio, and they were telling Piastri and Norris just like, hey, can you like drive faster? And they're like, bro, what? What do you, like? I can't.
Like, are we dead ass right now? Like, are we dead ass?
Can you go more fast when you're already driving at your max pace?
When you're literally sending it through corners, pulling tens of G's. Can you drive faster, please?
Yeah, even Lando, I think even Lando said something on the radio too. I don't remember quite exactly what it was, but he said something like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. I need help. And they didn't help him. They did not help him.
Yeah, they did not. I was like,
as a generational McLaren hater, it was just a joy to watch, personally.
You know what else was a joy to watch? The smooth operator get a fucking second podium this season.
Yeah, that was badass. GG's on Williams' part. I never saw the build up to it. It just seemed like Carlos just appeared in third place and was just finished like that. I don't know where that came from.
No, he took some positions earlier in the race and eventually got it. He fought his way to P3 and then kept it. I was like, dang. I think the main thing that really helped him get P3 because he was P4 and then Lando pitted. And then he was locked in at P3 and he's like, okay, I gotta push to keep this. And he really locked in. And it was already been a quick race for him anyway. He'd already gained some positions up. He fought his way to P4. Lando pitted. He got into P3, and he was booking it to try to. And I think what really helped was Kimi was so focused on defending against Lando, and not trying to chase down Carlos. Like, Kimi was really focused on defending Lando and not trying to chase down Carlos. So that's also what helped Carlos like retain P3. But once Kimi slid out and Lando just sent it and went after him, like I was scared. I was like, but no, to Carlos Sainz's credit, he really did push, and Lando Norris just didn't have enough oomph to catch up to him. And on on lap 50 or lap 51, all of a sudden he calls into his strategist saying, hey, I'm having really bad understeer issues going in the right corners, or I'm having really bad steering issues going in the right corners. And I'm like, oh no, this is it. And then, Carlos Sainz finishes like just over a second ahead of Lando Norris. And I was like, you love to see it.
Oh yeah, you love to see it. Max 1, 2. Just want to state the elephant in the room. That is what brings us into Abu Dhabi. Essentially a 3-way shootout to the championship. Mathematically, it's a little fucking weird. It's not very straightforward. I had to find a chart online just to figure out how this works. But yeah, if Lando had won Qatar, he would have been world champion right then and there. But he didn't even get it on podium, thank God. And yeah, so that brings us into, we're in race week again, the final race week of 2025. It's gonna be something.
It's been a wild ride.
It's been a wild ride because it was McLaren dominance until the summer break, and now things have panned out for us to get here, and I just never saw any of this coming.
I mean, this is my first real season, and I wasn't even in for the season beginning. I think I came in at the Dutch Grand Prix. That's when I actually started getting into F1. And even for me, this has been a wild first season for me. You know, even not even just watching the races, but also just F1 related stuff in general. I bought this. I'm doing an F1 podcast. 7 months ago, I wasn't into F1 like this, and now look at me. But it's been a wild first season, and now mathematically, right? So if if Max Verstappen gets P1, Lando has to get P4 or below for Max to win the championship. He cannot get a podium. If Lando gets a podium at all, it doesn't matter who comes in what place. If he gets a podium at all next race, he wins. He wins the championship. He wins the World Drivers' Championship.
I think from the graph I saw, even if he gets P4, he still wins.
No, because him and Max will be tied.
Well, okay, I'm going to consult the graph later, but I'm pretty sure if he's even in 4th place, he's going to get the championship. But I could be wrong. But
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm still kind of like standing on the idea that it's pretty likely that Lando's going to become world champion. As much as I don't want it to be true.
It's not going to happen. Max is going to win.
Yeah, he's going to win, but
the world championship. He's going to win the world championship.
Even if Max wins, the margin for Lando to become champion is very high over like Max's margin. Max needs to win, regardless. Right? Yep. Lando doesn't need to win. If he gets at least a podium, even P4, he's going to be still the gap he built ahead in points is just enough for him to be world champion. So
after everything's said and done, right, there is a 13-point gap between Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. P4 grants 12 points.
Oh, are you gonna like follow that up with anything, or are you just gonna...
I figured it was pretty obvious. P4 grants 12 points. So if he gets P4, they tie. No, sorry, it's a 12-point gap. P4 grants 12 points. If he gets P4, they tie. If he gets anything below P4, Max Verstappen wins. And this is all assuming Max Verstappen's pole position. If Lando gets P4, Max Verstappen's pole position, they tie. If Max Verstappen gets pole position and Lando gets P5, the point difference won't make up for it. Because pole position grants 25 points. And P4 grants 12 points.
Well, without getting super altismo and looking at the numbers and metrics of this,
fair. Fair.
I really don't want to like pull out my graph and just like consult it mid podcast, but my point is essentially that I'm leaning more on the side of Lando winning. I think it's just like the more logical choice, because when you have a 4 in 20 chance of winning over somebody's like 1 in 20 chance of winning the championship, I mean, the odds are in your favor.
McLaren double DNF at Abu Dhabi.
Please. I'm not a McLaren fan. I'm just looking at this like from a logical, like detached perspective. It's completely like
absolutely.
It's a lot more likely that Lando's going to win the championship this year. Interesting enough, on F1's website, Kim Illman, he's a big personality and photographer in the F1 space. Okay. He mentioned that on Lando's driver page on the F1 website, as far as like numbers of championships go, somebody put 1 next to his championship amount.
I did see that. Yeah, you sent that to me.
Prematurely. And it begs the question, it's like, does F1 know something we don't?
Is it rigged?
Or are they literally just, was that like an error? Are they just assuming like, we don't know. There's too many like variables. There's too many what if scenarios, right? But interesting enough to point out.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, he hasn't won it yet, unless, because it's like, you can't see something like that and not be convinced at least a little bit that it's rigged. At least maybe in the later stages, it might be rigged and might all be for show, Regardless, my money's still on Max Verstappen, and I'm hoping he wins. I want it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I want it to happen just as much as the next guy, but I can't deny the logic. That's just how I am.
Yeah, logically, yes. You are 100% correct. Logically, Lando Norris has way higher odds of winning the world championship this year. Everybody knows it, right? And that's just based on the lead he's built up throughout the entire season. You know, now it's more like what's the term for it? Like I don't know, I can't think of the term for it. It's like counting something really small. Basically, like everybody that is holding on to the hope that Max Verstappen is going to win the championship this year is pretty much grasping at straws. You know, Lando Norris objectively has a way higher chance of winning the championship. Is it mathematically possible for Max Verstappen to win? Yes. Just like it's mathematically possible for Oscar Piastri to win. But
is it likely?
Is it really? Yeah. So we'll see.
It's technically a three-way shootout, but I mean, for Oscar Piastri to come back and take the world championship with his points disadvantage from Max and Lando, he's like the least. I'm calling it a three-way shootout because that's what like everybody is calling it, but it's really just between Max and Lando. Let's be real.
Maxi only has like a 12-point gap between Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri only has a 16-point gap. So it's closer than you think, but at the same time, it's not that close. I feel like if somehow, if Max Verstappen and Lando Norris somehow DNF'd, and Oscar Piastri got a podium, he could win. But that's
I mean, if they DNF, if they took each other out or something, fighting, and then Oscar swoops in and takes it, then he could very easily be world champion.
Sonny, push, your
we
P1.
never know. We really never know. Formula One is not as predictable as you can think. It's very seldom, like unless it's like Monaco or like Singapore or something.
Yeah,
you can't really predict where it's going to go during these races because like nobody saw that safety car coming in Qatar. Nobody saw that.
Yeah.
And the strategy botching and the pit stop botching and, you know, all this stuff, right, in Qatar. None of that was predictable.
Absolutely
like,
not.
Also, the same thing with Vegas. Like, we never saw that coming when both the McLarens got disqualified for playing Quare. Like, what?
Yeah, we talked about it last episode. I literally woke up and I was like, I was looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. So, really, it is really anybody's game at this point. But
yeah, like I can give my best estimation, and I mean logically, it seems like Lando's going to win the championship, but we just don't know because F1 is so crazy and chaotic sometimes that it just gets shaken up. The dice just get re-rolled, and then it's just like, what the fuck? What is this?
Exactly.
So it's going to be a real treat. I love that we have back-to-back-to-back race weeks with Vegas, Qatar, and now Abu Dhabi just to wrap everything up. Super exciting.
And there's no sprint race in Abu Dhabi. It's just a classic, full-on Grand Prix. You know that.
I think it would be torture if we had another sprint race for Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
I think it's really good that
there'd be no reason
that we don't. Yeah, there'd be no reason. It would just make everything so much more complicated. This is just clean, simple. This is the finale. So as we come into the finale, it's going to be an exciting time. Cancel all your weekend plans. Bust out the popcorn.
I mean, I'm going to be moving.
Cancel all your weekend plans.
Yeah, let me just
Bust out the popcorn.
Let me just stop my U-Haul in the middle of the highway and just watch the races.
2 hours out of your day, buddy. Come on, man. Shit.
I'll probably have it on in the background, but...
Well, I will not. I will be watching it on the big screen. Moving on, though. It's going to be an exciting time, and we'll see how this goes. Oh, my God. I'm kind of stressed out about this whole thing. Not actually, but like in a fan sense, I'm just like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's going to be that. And we're not going to have F1 again until March.
Golly, man.
I originally thought it was just going to be until January, but no, it's still March.
Is that when testing begins?
I think testing begins before March. I think
Okay.
it's in like February,
Okay.
but the season doesn't start till like March, like mid-March.
You know what? That's not as long as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we have pretty much like almost all of December, January, February, March, a couple months.
By the way, Trackrats, we're still in the market for ideas and things you want to see while during the off season. So it is going to be a few episodes, going to be a couple weeks. But during the off season, just shoot us a message or comment under this YouTube video. Like, what do you want to see? What do you want us to cover? What do you want to know? We can do a whole bunch of stuff. So just let us know what you want to see, and we'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, I'm just going to become an F1 history teacher and basically explain all the cool moments that I like about old F1.
Hell yeah.
That is probably the likely outcome of what we're going to be talking about during the off season.
Yeah.
But besides that, this is slightly off topic for F1, but still on topic. Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Really didn't want to bring this up. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I'm like an actual, like, I detest the company Ferrari. I hate them. I hate their stupid brand image. I hate their exclusivity, how you have to have an invite to buy cars. I hate John Elkann. I hate everything about Ferrari except the drivers. Drivers are cool. I like both the drivers.
Yes.
But I had like the craziest thing happen to me last night. So I was playing Gran Turismo 7. And it's like somewhat realistic. Not like 1-to-1, but decently realistic, right? I was trying to get through like the main campaign. The main campaign is really, really long. But you basically do like a racing series where you're basically only in a certain brand of car for like 3 races. In essence, I was doing a Ferrari spec race series. And I think the one car I had, I could have bought like another one, but like just the one that I had on hand was like a Ferrari F430. And took it on track. I think the first track I took it on was Barcelona, the F1 track. And like the F1 car sounds like a vacuum cleaner, drives like shit. Awful car. SF25 is disgusting. Like I said, I hate Ferrari. However,
here it comes, folks. Here it comes, folks.
When I drove, right? This is a sim. This is a game. This isn't real life. So I don't know. But it's a sim. And when I drove the F430 on like the sim racing track and everything, I don't like to admit it. And this isn't really like F1 related per se, but it's just like, God damn it. I hate that I liked driving the F430. Like, it was just so like visceral.
Bang!
Like, it was like a V8, and I just never have heard anything like scream like that. And just like a normal road car, not a race car or anything, just like a regular road car. And then it had like this analog tachometer where it was yellow, and it would show you on like this like old school like digital display like what gear you're in. And like the main focus though was on the RPM, so it was like kind of race car first. And it handled all right, but it was mostly just like the visceral like experience of being behind like the wheel and seeing like the prancing horse. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love this. And I hate that I love this. But like the F430 was like so cool to drive.
Soon you're going to be wearing one of these, buddy.
No. We're not going that far.
Ferrari.
I hate the F1 team. The only thing I could ever see myself doing is like buying like a 90s or 2000s Ferrari, because they're just so visceral and just so like,
mm-hmm.
You know, like they just evoke emotion. Emozione is how you say it in Italian. But I'd never buy, like, if I had the money, I would never buy a modern Ferrari because they're soulless and they just use touchscreens and cameras and sensors, and they're quiet and they're hybrid, and you know, kind of goes against pretty much everything Ferrari originally stood for.
Yeah.
They're not even setting a trend anymore. They're just following what the trends are. And it's just, let's make it a soulless bubble that has screens everywhere and is basically just a Tesla with half of a motor.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd like absolutely detest Ferrari and I hate new Ferraris. But, you know, if I bought an old Ferrari, I wouldn't be giving a dime to the company. I would just be buying the thing.
I would be buying the thing.
And it just so happens that the 90s and 2000s thing that I can buy and not pay a cent to Ferrari for are just really good and really visceral and really raw. And me as a driver, I like a raw ass driving experience. Like I drove the Shelby GT350R. When I drove that car, it was the same way. It revved up to like 9,000 RPM. It was actually a reverse engineered Ferrari 458 engine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fun fact. But anyways, manual gearbox only, revved to like 9,000 RPM, V8, naturally aspirated, cross-plane crank, rear-wheel drive. They did everything in their power to save weight, so no back seats, big-ass rear wing, carbon fiber wheels, big-ass brakes. Love the hell out of that car. It fucking screamed. It was visceral, it was fast, and it was light and nimble. Me as a driver, I like driving cars like the Shelby, where it's just essentials, just what you want as an enthusiast, just raw and fast and angry. The Ferrari captured the same thing. Even if it's just in a sim, it was just raw and fast and angry and what every enthusiast should be driving, something like that. Not as F1 related as we usually talk about, but I just felt like that was noteworthy because, like, there's a part of me that likes some Ferrari. I don't fully hate it, I guess.
Ferrari.
And also they have drip.
They have drip. So, one development that I've seen in the last few days is Isaac Hadjar getting promoted to Red Bull. Now, we called this. We speculated on this a few episodes ago. Looks like it's actually happening.
My exact predictions, too.
Yeah. Isaac Hadjar is getting promoted to Red Bull because we all know Red Bull is kind of just a rotating machine or a rotating door for second place drivers. But with that being said, where's Yuki Tsunoda gonna go? Like, is he just getting kicked out of F1? I can't imagine that because he's still a good driver. What?
No, he's out. I thought you saw the post I sent you. I was predicting this. Like, if Alpine didn't announce their drivers when we were like at the time of filming that podcast, I was speculating that he might have gone to Alpine. But then, like a day or two after we made that episode, Alpine announced their drivers. And I'm like,
because I was eating lunch and I called you, or we were texting about it.
Yeah, Arvid Lindblad posted a better lap time in Mexico than Yuki Tsunoda did, and Arvid is a rookie. I think he's an F2.
He is F2, yep.
Yeah, once they saw that, I think immediately Helmet was like, new V-car driver.
Yep.
Look, no hate towards Yuki fans, but I personally think Yuki's driving sucks. He's not good. But it's also the curse of like the Red Bull second seat is not entirely his fault.
Yeah.
But I've heard him talk over the team radio a lot, and he's just a constant complainer. He just complains and complains, and he's just a victim. He plays the victim all the time, like with Liam Lawson and Coda. He made some comment about Lawson, and Lawson didn't do a single thing. He just drove faster than him.
Yeah.
And like Yuki like just cried over like the team radio about it, and it was broadcast, and I saw that, and I'm like, and then I think there was another race following that. It might have been Mexico or Brazil, but Yuki just complained again, dude, and he was not performing, and he gone. He's about to be gone.
Yeah.
Red Bull's officially announcing on, I think, next Monday. I think they're officially announcing their drivers, but it got leaked already. And the lineup for Red Bull and VCARB next year is going to be Max Verstappen, obviously. Then you have Isaac Hajar, second Red Bull seat. VCARB, Liam Lawson is staying. Then you have Arvid Lindblad taking the place of Isaac Hajar.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Hajar taking the place of Yuki. Yuki's going apparently to IndyCar because there's no place for him in F1. There's no seats.
IndyCar, huh?
It's where the F1 rejects kind of go.
Yeah, I can kind of see it because they kind of do aerodynamically. They kind of look like the older F1 cars with like the boxy rear wing and the I guess it's kind of the closest they can get, except instead of racing on circuits, they race in ovals. No hate to racing in ovals, like there's a time and place for it. But I mean, man,
I guess.
Dang though, that's crazy though. I didn't think Yuki was that bad of a driver. I think whenever you're put up against somebody like Max Verstappen as your teammate, it's hard to be a good. Yeah, he makes you look bad because he's Max Verstappen. He makes you look bad regardless. But I think if Yuki was more of a middle of the pack to like top 5 driver, it would have been okay. But he's constantly just like a backmarker driver.
Yeah, he's usually like eliminated in Q1.
Yeah.
In qualifying. And it's been like this all year. And I don't think that's a good look when you have your junior team outpacing you.
Yeah.
So I saw this coming. I said if he didn't go to Alpine, he was going to get sacked. I was right. Right again.
Right again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is at this point, right? He did what he could, put up the race he could. Can't really blame him for that. And, at the end of the day, the stars didn't align. So, oh well. Such is the nature of the beast, right? You don't perform, you get cut.
You have to look at it, too, from... I don't really like to be a Red Bull apologist because, especially after what happened to Kimi, like, I'm very upset about that. And I don't like to defend Red Bull. However, you have to look at it from their perspective, not only as a racing team, but as a business. If I'm paying this dude millions of dollars, right? Because that's what they get paid.
Yep.
At least like at the bare minimum, like $1 million, right? If I'm paying this guy $1 million and my junior team, who I'm paying less, is outperforming him. I mean, when you detach yourself from this and just look at it on a spreadsheet, which these guys seem to do, it's like, well, it really begs the question. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And I'm sure behind closed doors, they must have had talks about this too. Like, this couldn't have just been like sprung up on him. They must have been like having meetings with Yuki, and they might have been like, hey, we need you to do better. Mm-hmm. And Yuki was like, I'm trying. And, nothing came of it. When you look at it from the perspective of like the CEO or the owner of the team or as an investor, you're like, okay, we're burning money by letting this guy to keep racing on our team if he's not bringing us any value. So unfortunately, like that's just the nature of the game. That's just how this works. And it sucks and it's elitist. But at the end of the day, it still is a business. I mean, the higher you get in your constructor standings, the higher you get paid. So you need drivers who are performing well. And if they're not performing well, they need to go because you're just burning money, getting them to try to perform, and they're not. If they're not producing results for you, there's no reason to employ them.
Yeah.
Best of luck to him in IndyCar, though. I mean, it's a new series. Maybe he'll flourish in IndyCar. That'd be cool.
I was about to say that. Maybe he'll just like become like, the champion of IndyCar. Who knows? And, best of luck to him, honestly. But yeah, if you can't hack it in the sport, you can't hack it. You got to get you out of here.
This is just the name of the game. You're in the big leagues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excited to see Arvid, though, on a different note. Out with the old, in with the new. I'm definitely excited to see Arvid because if he was doing that well in just a free practice session, I mean, him and Liam Lawson, that's a good duo. That's like, okay. And then you have a Jar and a Red Bull. Like, okay, that's pretty good. We have a good lineup, at least for next year.
And from Arvid to go it's for Arvid to go from an F2 car, which is considerably slower, to a full-on
Yes.
F1 car and put up a better time than a F1 driver who's been driving. Was this Yuki's rookie season?
Not his rookie season. He's been, I think, in like F1 for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Um,
That my point exactly. Yuki's been in F1 for a little bit. He knows how the game works. He knows how to put up good times, or at least in theory he does. And for an F2 driver to hop in an F1 car, I wouldn't say for the first time because obviously they gave him practice with it, stuff like that. But for an F2 driver to just hop in an F1 car and put up a better time than him, it says a lot.
dude, it makes you look bad times two because first you had Verstappen all season, and now you have a Arvid, and it's like, bro, Red Bull might have already been kind of leaning there, but you just tipped the needle, making him look that bad. But it'll be exciting to see Arvid in a V car because if he can do that in a Red Bull for like a free practice session, imagine what he's going to look like all season. Like probably pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
that's going to be extremely fun next season. Among everything else next season, that's also going to be really fun.
Next season's going to be great. We're gonna be eating next year. I'm glad we really seriously got into it this year because we're gonna be ready for next year.
Absolutely.
And speaking of next year, also Adrian Newey, who I guess is like a really big car designer. I don't know too much about him, but he's a big name apparently. He is now the team principal for the remainder of the season and next year for Aston Martin.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we did speculate. I can't remember if this was recorded or not, but we did speculate it might have been Christian Horner.
Yes, we're speculating. I'm glad we didn't record this because it aged like milk. Like within 12 hours, we got that debunked pretty fast.
Yeah, the next day you sent me that post. You're like, yeah, actually, it's Adrian Newey. He's the new team principal for Aston Martin, and I was like, well, that was quick. It was after we had finished the episode, and then we were just talking, just still in the Discord call. Yeah, man, but I really wanted Horn Dog Racing.
I know Christian Horner. Ever since he got sacked from Red Bull, he's been really interested in trying to get like back into the sport as a team principal.
Yeah,
like he's been in rooms with Mohammed Ben Sulayem, Zach Brown, and himself. We've seen that online. He was clearly trying to go for this Aston Martin team principal seat. I don't know where else he can go because apparently there was even rumors that he might have been going to Ferrari until Ferrari just outwardly came out and they were like, no, we're keeping Fred.
No.
I don't know if it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. I think Christian is eventually going to make a return. Horn Dog Racing is happening.
Horn Dog Racing is happening. Well, to that point as well. So we talked about this a little bit, but I noticed that there really isn't really any Americans in F1. I think that itself is a matter of when, not if. Like, because Formula One is just starting to get really kind of popular in the United States, I would say within the last couple of years. Like I don't know. I didn't know of anybody who, and I still barely know of anybody who actually does like genuinely interested in F1. But I think it's becoming more popular here in the United States. So I think we might see some of these younger junior drivers who are in Formula 3, Formula 2, like these teenagers that want to get into a Formula sport. And so they'll, get into Formula 3, Formula 2, and eventually get to Formula 1. I think eventually we will see some Americans. Hell, we'll do it. We can do it.
I'm down.
Imagine us getting behind the wheel of a Formula 1 car, like actually competing, right?
Odo, you can DM me and I will sign for Mercedes. You can pay me nothing. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. I forgot.
Just completely shut down.
I forgot the team principal of Williams' name.
James Vowles.
James Vowles. Thank you. It was like on the tip of my tongue. James Vowles, you can DM me. I will literally race for just food and shelter.
I'll race for free. I'll come up with my own food and shelter, dude. Toto Wolff, please. Make me a reserve. I'll take Valtteri's spot.
I will sleep in the garage and eat nothing but motor oil and my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Sign us.
I would probably have to lose some weight first. You're probably fine. I would have to lose some weight before I actually hopped in an F1 car because I'd be weighing that car down.
That's funny. Hey, it's very doable, I promise. But
yeah.
Man, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah. Well, the reason why I brought this up, well, I guess you brought it up, but it was something I talked to you about a little bit. I was just thinking about, like, for some reason it just popped back into my head. Cadillac's debut on Instagram when they made like a huge thing of like their drivers being announced for the team and then like going to New York and like doing the interview with like the news channels and Checo Perez, something that really like stayed in my brain. He said something like something about like the Americas, like in general, because I guess Cadillac is US, Checo is Mexican, so like that's still part of the North America.
Yeah.
So over encompassingly, he was like, yeah, like we're racing like for the Americas, like representing the Americas. And then I started thinking about the Americas a little bit more, and it started encompassing like South America, North America. And I'm like, okay,
don't forget
we have
Central
Gabby
America.
Bortoleto, Central America too, right? But we have Gabby Bortoleto. He's Brazilian, so South America. We have Checo Perez next year. That's North America, but it's not United States.
Yeah,
which is what I'm trying to get at.
It's in the continent of North America.
Yeah, and then we also have right around Lance Stroll is Canadian, and did you know that, by the way?
I did not know that. I didn't
He's
know
from
that
Canada.
at all.
He's not from England or anything. From Canada. So I just find it really weird that we have a South American. We have, you know, I'm not trying to sound weird when I say this, right? But I just find it really weird that like the United States has a gap. Like there's no drivers from the United States besides the reserve driver for Cadillac.
Yeah.
Who are like directly from the United States racing as a USA citizen in Formula One. And I know that we have Haas as the team. We have Cadillac as the team. But like, where are our American drivers? Where are we? Because as an American, I would prefer seeing a little bit more representation. Yeah. I know we have 3 of our own tracks, which is kind of insane. We went from having 1 United States GP in Austin in 2013 to now in the 2020s having 3 United States GPs. The representation's great. We have 2 US teams now. Where are the US drivers, man?
Where are the drivers?
Think there's like a hole. You have Canada, Mexico, Brazil. Where are they at?
Well, let's do it. Let's be the US drivers.
Okay, yeah, I'll fill that gap. I'll make that deal.
I'll make that deal. Make that deal. I think we will see some eventually in the future for sure, especially with, you know, Cadillac entering, right? Because yes, Haas is an American F1 team, but they don't scout America. You know, where's Haas even based?
Great question. I don't know.
Because, I mean, obviously, Cadillac is based in Detroit.
They have an office, or they have like a headquarters in the UK, and they have one in Detroit.
Yeah, they have a headquarters in their international headquarters is over by Silverstone, which is where the other like 9 out of 10 grid teams headquarters are. So they're right there. Their US base is in Detroit, and then they also have like a little office over in Bologna because they got access to Toyota's wind tunnel, which is like the most advanced in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of confident they might take away the constructors next year because like they do have access to some really cool stuff. They just didn't really have a lot of money up front, but it seems like now they're perfectly fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, we shall
But
see.
I guess we'll see if there's going to be some American drivers that get scouted out. I mean, we're in the right direction because we have next year Cadillac with a reserve driver. The reserve drivers from California, like Southern California.
Okay.
So yes, but with a big asterisk, I would say for as far as like American driver representation goes. I hope that we start to see more American driver representation in Formula One moving forward.
Oh yeah.
But I think we're off to a good start over the past like decade or two. We went from having no tracks to one track to three tracks, one team to two teams, reserve driver. We just need to fill, I think, I need to see this as an American fan. American drivers. European hates it. They hate that. Europe, just in general, like absolutely detests us as fans.
Mm-hmm.
They can hate us all they want. I don't care. Texas is bigger than some of y'all's countries, so I don't want to hear it, dude.
Americans aren't well traveled. Well, sorry, my state is bigger than like 5 of your countries put together. That's my bad. So American F1 drivers, there've only been like 2 really notable ones.
Mario Andretti, one of them.
Mario Andretti is one of them, and then Phil Hill.
Okay.
Let's see. He won the 1961 WDC for Ferrari. He competed from 1958 to 1966, winning 3 Grand Prix. He also won the WDC for Ferrari in 1961. He was the first American to win the championship, which helped promote Formula One to an American audience and other U.S. drivers. Known for his modesty, Hill was considered a safe driver who rarely made mistakes. He was also an actor and advisor for the 1966 movie Grand Prix.
Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that's actually really cool, yeah. And of course,
multifaceted guy.
Mario Andretti was right there in his prime with Niki Lauda. Like, that's already a big flex in itself.
I think Mario Andretti is actually one of the like advisors for Cadillac too, going forward for the F1 team.
Yeah, so their Cadillac's first big sponsor was Andretti Motorsports. So Mario Andretti wanted to create an F1 team, right? He wanted to do that. The Cadillac stepped in and said, "Hey, yeah, we'll give you the money for it." And he's like, "Cool. You can also have the naming rights, like as like a bonus, kind of sweeten the deal. You can have the naming rights. We can name it Cadillac F1 Team. Cool. I just really want to see this project get off the ground." So he has been there from step one. He's like the main driving force behind getting Cadillac like on the grid, and he is principal advisor. I want to say he's team principal, but he might not be team principal, but he's definitely principal advisor for the F1 team. So
okay,
he's extremely passionate about this. And that's why I'm very happy to have Cadillac on the grid next year.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, as a United States citizen, I'm very happy about this. But we just need that driver representation, kind of circling back to that. Like,
yeah,
once we get that, I think I'll appreciate it even more than I already do. But it's going in the right direction. I just find it really strange. I think it's this weird like oddity that we just have that weird like 0 currently American drivers. And I'd like to see that change to the detest of the Euros. They're going to hate it. They don't want that, but they can cry about it.
I mean, I'd like to see that change too. I think a lot of Americans, especially like in motorsports, a lot of American views on motorsports is like, oh, you're either driving NASCAR, you're driving the Indy 500, or you're going mudding somewhere. You know, like it's from where I grew up, it's really been considered kind of like a redneck side of things, to go drive fast cars and to have fun watching people drive fast cars. But there can be a sort of elegance to it, as we've seen with F1. But with elegance also comes elitism, and I feel like the Euros and the rest of the world will not be very happy if some American drivers were to step in, because they'll be like, "Oh, you backwater hicks, oh, you just drive in circles and eat fried squirrel, but like, cry about it." Like,
Cry about it.
we're
Literally.
just as good as anybody else.
When I was in Vegas for the Vegas Grand Prix, I saw constant posts online about European people complaining about the time of the race. And in the comment section, it was literally just Americans being like, "How do you like it? How do you like, this is how American fans feel the entire time."
Yeah, literally the entire season. I'm like, turn on TV,
And we don't complain, we just do it.
Yeah, because we love the sport.
Yeah, and then I just thought it was like so delicious to see Europeans crying about waking up early to catch the Vegas race. How do you feel now, huh? USA.
I just see the patriotism just flowing through your veins. How do you feel about it now?
I got bald eagles in the background, fireworks, burgers. I'm proud to be an American, bitch. Get your European ass out of here.
Ugh. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that's my take on it. I just had to point that out. It's just too glaring to me for me not to mention that.
Well, I've got nothing else left to add. Tyler, do you have anything?
Just want to conclude it by saying, unfortunately, yeah, Qatar was a little bit of a snooze fest. The race was all right.
Yeah.
And with the race results we have, we go into Abu Dhabi for a 3-way shootout. And we're going to cover the debrief. And it's going to be awesome. So you guys stay tuned to both Hotlap and F1. And we're going to have an exciting, probably one of the most exciting weekends in F1
Absolutely.
this weekend.
Absolutely. Could not have said it better. Yeah, this is going to be one of the most it's going to be one of the most exciting weekends, especially this season. It's going to be probably the most exciting weekend this season, hopefully. Hopefully it's not just a snooze fest and Lando Norris just takes it from, But
that'd be awful.
That would be awful. But with that being said, this is Hotlap. I'm Caleb. That's Tyler. Remember to hit us up on Instagram. We are now officially going to be streaming on YouTube, so we're not doing Twitch anymore. We might do Twitch for some other stuff, but for right now, we are officially streaming the episodes on YouTube, and then they will be uploaded to YouTube shortly afterwards. So, hope you guys have a great rest of your night. We are out. Peace.
Cutie pie.